Hello, welcome back, and welcome to the Back to Basics series. This series focuses on some very basic yoga poses, yoga asana, and a little bit of the story and the myth behind each one. We're going to dive deep into alignment, engaging muscles, and really getting the most that you can out of every single pose. This is perfect for people just starting out, new to yoga, perfect for people who are just coming back after a bit of a hiatus perhaps, and also perfect for the really experienced yogi who wants to just really feel their yoga pose from the inside out. This is part one. This class today is focusing on mountain pose, or Tadasana in Sanskrit. Now, the Himalayas are the highest mountain range in the world. And translated, Alaya means abode, and Hima means snow. So Himalayas is the abode of snow. Now, the entire mountain range, the Himalayas, is often referred to as Devalaya. Deva meaning God, and Alaya, of course, meaning abode. So the abode of the gods, because it is the place on earth where you are the closest to the heavens. Now, in yoga philosophy, everything has a consciousness, not just people, but everything, different levels of consciousness. And the mountains, of course, are the givers of life, because it is where all streams and rivers originate from. So think of the mountain reaching up to the sky, to the heavens, giving lifeblood, essential water to every living thing on the planet. And that's where we begin our class today. Sitting tall. You can go ahead and sit on a rolled up blanket or a yoga block. It's completely up to you. You want your hips higher than your knees. You can go ahead and close your eyes. Rest your hands on your thighs, palms up or palms down. It doesn't matter which. Just kind of feel the crown of your head reaching up. And as you exhale, relax the shoulders. Settle into the weight of your legs and hips. Just take a couple of breaths, slow, meaningful breaths, satisfying breaths. Try to clear your head and connect to how your body is feeling. Feeling the broadness of your base, slowly tapering up to the crown of your head. Anchored, solid, reaching. Take a breath in, sweep your arms up. Bring your hands together overhead and just let your hands float down, palm pressing to palm. Let's do one more long, deep breath, moving your arms with your breath. So sweeping the arms up, hands coming together, and floating down with the exhalation. Pause here just for a moment. Take a moment to connect to your heart here. Relax through the shoulders. Feel palm pressing against palm. Release your hands, open your eyes if they're still closed. And let's come to standing at the top of the mat. Yeah, you got it, mountain pose. So standing at the top of the mat, feet hip distance apart. Now, a rough guide for that is a fist width between the balls of the big toes, possibly more. Some people stand with their feet together. It all depends on the width of your hips. Some people stand with their feet slightly farther apart. Now lift your toes. Really spread your toes wide and feel for the four corners of your feet. The ball of the big toe, the inner heel, the ball of the baby toe, and the outer heel. Try to distribute your weight evenly on all four corners of both feet. And then just relax the toes. Let your toes just rest on the mat rather than gripping the mat. push down with the feet. Really reach down below the floor that you're standing on. Think of kind of setting up roots, right? Mountains rise up from the earth, right from the core. The volcano gushes up through the hole, spills out, and creates the mountain. So really reach down to the beginnings of the mountain, the lava at the core of the earth. Now feel your legs engage as you push and anchor yourself. Now draw the belly button in just slightly and feel like your rib cage is perfectly balanced, aligned over the top of your hip bones. Draw your shoulders up, then roll them back and slide them down. Shoulder blades sliding down towards your hips. Feel your palms turn open, right? Feel the base broadening and the upper part of the body, the heart, opening. Now reach with the crown of the head towards the ceiling, towards the sky, the part of you that is closest to the heavens, just like the mountain. We're embodying mountain pose today. Now inhale, sweep the arms up. Think of that lava rising up from the earth, and as you exhale, sweep out. Let the lava flow outwards, increasing the base, creating more strength. Again, sweeping up with your breath in, reaching out, spilling over with the breath out. Let's do that 2 more times. Move with your own breath. If you want to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. Just feel your mountain pose, feel your steady foundation. Let's do 1 more. Reset now. Reset through the shoulders. Shoulder blades sliding down the back, heart open. Palms forward. Just receiving here. Receiving the energy, receiving the messages from the heavens, from the sky. Contributing to your own consciousness. Now let's inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, just lean slightly to the left, but keep your hips over top of your heels, your ankles. Try not to pop your hip out to the right. And as you inhale, come back to center, and exhale, release the arms. Let's do that to the right now. Inhaling, arms sweeping up. And as you exhale, leaning to the right, keeping the hips square. Just warming up through the vertebrae here, a little flexion into the spine. As you inhale, come back to center, and exhale, release the arms. Let's take this to a gentle forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, sweep wide, bend your knees. Just bring your hands to your knees. We're coming into a half forward fold here. Now keep a soft bend in the back of the knees. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your eyes. Look slightly in front of you. Not so that you're creating any compression in the back of the neck, but so that you feel like your spine is long and flat. And you can put a teacup right between your shoulder blades and not spill anything. And just hold it here for a moment. Just breathe. Relax the feet. Just feel your weight centered on your feet. Heels of the hands resting on your knees. With your next breath out, soften the knees a little bit more. Release your hands. Now sweep up. Keep the hips low, but higher than the knees, and come into a chair pose. Just let your hands reach up to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling, and look where it feels natural to place your eyes. I'm looking at the corner where the wall meets the floor in front of me. You want to feel like your spine is long and you're really engaging the fronts of the thighs here. Creating some power through the base. Now inhale, push, and lift all the way up. Bring your gaze up. Now open up through the arms, coming into volcano pose. So I'm looking at the ceiling slightly in front of me here. Not too much compression in the back of the neck. My fingers are spread wide. I've got the image. Yes, this is called volcano pose. So think of that. Lava rising up through the core of the earth, through all the layers, bursting through the igneous rock, and broadening the base of the mountain. Relax through the shoulders. Keep the arms long and strong. Minimize the bend in your elbows. Keep the palms turned upwards. Palms really open here. And with each breath, as you inhale, draw the breath up through the soles of your feet. And as you exhale, think of projecting and reaching out through your fingertips, the length of your arms, palms of your hands, to all 10 fingertips. Now inhale, bring the hands together, gaze straight ahead. Feel your ears coming into line with your shoulders. Feel the upper body strength here that it takes to hold the arms long and steady. Engaging through the hands. You might even feel a little bit tired through your forearms. But keep the soles of the feet pressing into the mat, strong and sturdy through the base of your mountain. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, release the arms. Now let's take a moment to roll through the shoulders. And then go the other way. All right, now let's take the mountain a little bit wider. So now shoulder width apart. A little bit of softness in the back of the knees. Always soft through the knees, never locking your knees. Now lift your toes. Do the same thing we did before. Feel for the four corners of your feet. So with the feet farther apart, there's a habit to roll into the arches. So here, think of pressing down through the baby toe, the ball of the baby toe. Feel for the four corners of your feet, the ball of the big toe, the inner heel, the ball of the baby toe, that one needs extra attention here with the feet farther apart, and the outer heel. You want to feel equal weight on all four corners. Then relax the toes. Feel how steady you are and how calm you are when you feel grounded through the soles of your feet. That is the essence of mountain pose. Tadasana. Calmness, steadiness. Draw the belly button in slightly. Once again, you want to create some core strength. Rib cage aligned with the hip bones, not poking out through the front so that your vertebrae is aligned. There's no arch through the upper back. Now draw the shoulder blades up, roll them back. Slide the shoulder blades down towards your hips. Let your palms turn forwards. Pause. Feel the core of the pelvis centered right between the soles of your feet. That's where we're going to keep our consciousness, our focus for this next little sequence. Now, crown of the head reaches up. Notice when the crown of the head reaches up, there's a very subtle tucking of the chin, keeping the ears in line with the shoulders. Now, inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to your thigh. Just place your right hand on your thigh. Now, keeping your focus on the core of the pelvis. Reach over with your left hand, but be careful not to pop your hip over to the left. Keep your hips centered, core of the pelvis centered over the midpoint between the soles of your feet. Now keep that. Use your right hand on your thigh for support. Feel a long stretch on the left side. Now pull the left shoulder back ever so slightly and turn your eyes to look to the corner at the left. Long left arm. Rather than thinking of reaching your left hand to the wall at the right, think of reaching for the corner where the wall meets the ceiling on the right side. Really lengthen through the left side without rotating through the shoulders. Breathe. Now inhale, come back to center. Eyes to center, shoulders centered. Pause. As you exhale, just release left arm. Standing in mountain pose. Now take a moment here. We talked about everything having a consciousness, everything having an energy. So let's visualize that. Take a couple of breaths here. And as you take your breath in, just scoop up the energy from the earth, the rivers, the trees, the mountains, the sky, and the stars. And as you exhale, release. Let's do that again. Inhaling. Earth, rivers, mountains, sky, stars. And as you exhale, release. Pause here. Just take a breath. There's no rush. Feel your mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, this time left hand comes to your thigh for support. Take another breath. Consciousness at the core of the pelvis. And as you exhale, lean to the left this time. Right hand reaching up to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling, focusing on the length of the right side rather than collapsing through the left side. Keeping the core of the pelvis centered over the midpoint between the soles of the feet. Now pull right shoulder back so that your shoulders feel aligned rather than rotated, leaning forward. Keep the right arm long and then slowly just turn your head to look to the corner where the wall meets the ceiling on the right side. Energy in your hand, just enough energy to keep the fingers long and spread wide like rays of sunshine. Focus on deepening your breath, staying centered. Keep the base steady. The steadier the base is, the more movement and freedom, the more you can reach and lengthen through the upper body. Now inhale, come back to center. Eyes to center. And as you exhale, release the right arm. Here we go. Both arms at the sides, relax through the shoulders. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Scoop up the levels of the universe, all that consciousness. And as you exhale, this time bring your hands together and just draw that energy inward. Connect to your surroundings. Now inhale, lift the hands up. Let your hands separate naturally when they want to. And as you exhale, think of sending your own energy, your own consciousness out there to be received by the universe. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling. Feel connected, strong. Hands come together. As you exhale, hands float down. Just open, drawing everything into your heart. Inhaling, letting the hands float up. Exhale, everything releases outwards. Let's come back, stepping together. The top of the mat. Just take a moment here just to alternate pumping your heels. Just really get into the toe joints. Take your time here, shifting your weight from foot to foot. Maximizing the range of motion in the balls of the toes. Giving the soles of the feet a little bit of a stretch. Depending on if you've been gripping with your toes or really pushing with the soles of the feet, you might feel a little bit of cramping here. So we're just taking a moment to stretch the soles of the feet. right, standing in mountain pose. You can feel the four corners of the feet equally weighted, front to back, side to side. A little softness in the back of the knees. Belly button draws in just ever so slightly. Ribs not poking out, but the front of the ribs in line with the front of the hips. Draw your shoulders up, roll them back, slide your shoulder blades down. Now just bring your hands a little farther out from your hips and some softness in the elbows. You can go ahead and close your eyes if you choose. Crown of the head reaching up. So this is a good way to work on your balance here by closing your eyes in mountain pose. Really focusing on staying centered. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, sweep the arms out. Come into a half forward fold with your hands on your knees. The next class is all about forward fold, so I hope you can join me for that. Let's pause here, bringing your eyes forward. You want that long, flat back. Open up through the fronts of the shoulders by drawing your shoulder blades in. Just casually take a breath here. Feel your breath. Feel your body beginning to soften. Now, soles of the feet press into the mat. Engage the legs a little bit. Release the hands and inhale, sweep up. And as you exhale, sweep out and down. All right, anchored through the soles of the feet. A little bit of movement here. I want you to inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, bend your knees and just let your hands swing to the outside of your ankles. Inhale all the way up, bring the gaze up. And as you exhale, release. Arms sweeping out to the side. We're going to do that 3 more times, that little breath sequence. Inhaling, volcano pose. Exhaling, just bending the knees, swing the arms. Inhale, up to volcano. And exhale, just release everything outwards. Breath releases everything. Inhale up, volcano. Remember to bring the gaze up. Exhale, swing all the way back up to volcano. And exhaling, release. One more time. Bring the gaze up as you inhale to volcano. Exhale, swing all the way up. Once again, a little bit of a back bend as the eyes look up. And exhale. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees, bow forward, bring your fingertips to the mat. Now step back, plant your hands, and come into table pose. Keep the toes curled under for stability. Keep your gaze beyond the top edge of your mat. Get that long, flat back feeling again. If you're not sure if you feel a flat back, think about drawing your shoulder blades in towards your spine. That helps soften the heart. Take a breath. Keep your gaze on the top of the mat and just push back towards your heels. Use your hands to push into the mat until you feel the stretch into the soles of your feet and the backs of your toes. Stay here for a breath. And then rise up. Come back to table. Let's do that one more time. Push back as you exhale. If it's too intense to stay here for a breath, then you're pushing too hard. Stay connected to your body and how your body is responding in all the yoga poses we're doing today. Come back to table. Now uncurl the toes. Bring the big toes together to touch. Walk your knees wide. Push your hips back towards your heels. Feel free to put some support here on the back of your ankles. You can use a rolled up blanket. All depends on your knees. We're going to reach the hands forward. I want you to reach, creep your fingers towards the top of the mat. Relax your head. Let your forehead come down to the mat. If your forehead doesn't come down to the mat, again, use a block, use a rolled up blanket to support your forehead. You want support here.
You want to feel the stretch in the back of the shoulder blades. Feel the stretch along the sides of the body. Keep the arms active and reaching. We're not ready to completely surrender yet. We're going to take one more breath here. And then relax. Let go of the grip on the mat. Let your arms feel heavy. Support under the forehead. It can be your blanket, it can be a block, it can be your hands or a fist stacked on top of fist, like this. Just let your hips feel heavy, really let go. Soles of the feet feel soft. You can feel your weight pushing into your shins in a good way. Arms are relaxed. No tension in the jaw. Now press up.
Swing your legs round to the top of the mat. Just put a little bend in your knees as you lower yourself all the way down. Arms at your sides. Now tuck your shoulder blades underneath you so you get that same sensation you had in mountain pose with your palms turning forward. Now spread your toes to engage the soles of the feet. I want you to feel grounded through the backs of your heels, but your feet balanced on the center of the back of your heels. So your toes aren't pointing outwards to the corners, but the feet, ankles, shins, they're engaged with the toes spread wide. Let the back of your head feel heavy. Now push through the soles of the feet, but keep the heels anchored. Feel the strength in the legs here. Now hug the fronts of the thighs to your thigh bones and think about pressing the back of your legs down into the mat. Feel the energy that takes there. Now the core is beginning to engage a little bit more. Make sure the heels are anchored, that the heels aren't popping up. We want to keep the knees safe. So you've got the heels, the calves, and the thighs. The backs of the thighs might just feel like they're grazing the mat a little bit. You can feel the belly engaging. Palms turned upwards, hands are open. Now push the backs of the shoulders down. Backs of the upper arms down, just the upper arms. Your hands will float up, but keep the hands soft. Now relax through the jaw. Whew. So supine mountain pose, supine Tadasana, lying down mountain pose. You can still work on it right here. It's amazing. Soften the jaw. We're going to take one more breath here. And as you exhale, let's release one at a time. So keep the arms active, but release the toes. Feel the legs soften, the thighs. Now let the hips feel heavy and the arms let go. Oh. Feel your feet roll out. Take a couple of breaths right here. Just bathe in the softness. When all the muscles let go, feel the contradiction of the softness. The hard strength of the muscles and the soft suppleness when you let go. So much easier to breathe. Go ahead and close your eyes if they aren't already. Mine are. Now turn the palms down. So your thumbs are pointing in towards your hips. Let's just inhale, let the arms float up and overhead. Have a little bit of a stretch. And then exhale, bring your hands back down towards your hips. Let's do that again. Inhaling, letting the hands float up and over. Reach the fingertips, and now reach the soles of the feet as well. Really have a stretch from the soles of your feet all the way to your fingertips. And then exhale, just let everything soften and fall into the earth. Now slide your hands, just slowly bringing them back beside your hips. Turn the palms down. We're going to do one more full stretch. Inhale, all the way up and over. Reach the fingers, reach the soles of the feet. Just pause, hold your breath just for a second or two while you stretch. And as you exhale, just let yourself fall into the earth. And now slowly just bringing your hands back to your sides. Bring some movement to your fingertips, your toes, your wrists, ankles. Feel your legs now beginning to move. You can gently rock your head from side to side. And bringing your feet up one at a time, bending your knees. And again, just letting your knees go from side to side, feeling the massage through the hips. And gently roll onto your right side. Use your right arm to support your head and neck. Stay here for a breath. Press up. Sit tall. Feel free to grab a rolled up blanket or a yoga block. Sit in whatever way it feels comfortable. Hands together at the heart. Eyes softly closed or gazing downwards. As you exhale, just feel solid and anchored through the legs and the hips. As you inhale, just feel the crown of the head reaching up. Feeling at one with the universe. Take a moment to be grateful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. May all beings be at peace. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.